In Bosnia, I had an incident where we opened up a mass grave with 600 bodies. And that was my first mission. The smell. That summer day in Bosnia, 2003. That comes back to me once in a while.
Are you sure you want the truth of it? Okay. And two of our guys in our platoon got blown up. One of them stepped on an IED while we were out on patrol. The other one hit one with his car.
There was a girl who stepped on an IED and she lost both her legs and her arm, and I think she was like 4 years old, and it was quite difficult to being capable of handling the situation, not for only the girl, but for yourself.
The feeling of knowing that people would do that to other people just made me sick then, and it still does.
At 20 years old, you're gonna grow up very fast, right?
Er det ikke Thor, ham der med hammeren?
Jo!
Ja.
De må stå rundt og sparke til træet.
Nej, det har det onde. Han var mere spark til.
Nå, der står en.
Det står ikke rundt.
Bongen lige i hovedet. I think about the disaster that I will put on my family if I end up dying. I think about that a lot. You know, you make your preparations, you make sure that they will be pretty well off. If I die, I'm insured, and I have written letters explaining some of those things to them that I would have told them if I hadn't died. But you really have to think through every time you go that there's a substantial risk that you will not get back home. This is something that I put on my family because I'm doing what I would like to do. So I feel selfish, and I feel I'm battling with that feeling of being an egoistic or an selfish bastard, just living my life and then involving my family in that danger and that risk.
Og jeg ville selvfølgelig være frygtelig bange for, hvad der skulle ske med ham. Men altså, vi måtte få det til at du, vil jeg sige. Og herhjemme, så måtte jeg jo jeg skulle selvfølgelig forklare over for de to, hvad det er far han skulle, hvor far skulle hen, og jeg skulle selvfølgelig både være mor og far herhjemme. Og som jeg har haft det indtil nu, når han har været afsted, så har jeg måske bare været lidt naiv og har skubbet fra mig, at han har været afsted og har tænkt, at der sker ikke ham noget. Og jeg tror lidt, at den samme holdning vil jeg også indtage, hvor naivt det måske end er. Men det var jeg nødt til for at overleve herhjemme. Men jeg vil støtte ham i at tage afsted.
Så er jo uendelig igen.
Og jeg skal lige med. I think it's worth it. It's difficult to be a soldier and have a family. It's very difficult. And a lot of my colleagues, they get divorced. I intend not to be part of that statistic. Well, I'd be part of it, but be one of those, the anomaly. Because I really believe, despite all the difficulties, it makes me a better father and a better husband and a better man, what I do. I would be a wimp if I worked in a bank from 8 to 4. Janet wouldn't want a man like that, I know that.
Why did I join the army? Since 9th grade or so, I always special interest in, and it's gonna sound very American, but serving my country, and I've always been a sporty guy, doing a lot of different sports. So I thought, well, if I would be one of the few who actually want to do this. So if I do this, that might mean that nobody else has to get forced to do it, right? And well, when you're kid or a teen and you're dreaming about being a fireman or a superhero or a soldier. Well, I wanted to be a soldier.
Jeg havde mange følelser blandet, da Thor han skulle til Afghanistan. Man tænker altid sit, hvad der kan ske, og man kommer hjem igen. Men man tænker da også, at jamen, vi ses om et halvt år. Men hver gang man læste aviser, og der var sket noget dernede, jamen, så skulle man hurtigt ind og se, om der var livstegn for Thor. Og det var der jo altid. Men det halve år der var man lidt mere anspændt end ellers.
When it comes to leaving and saying I'm going to war, people can pin you to a wall and say that's selfish. What about your family and stuff? So in one end you are the most selfish jerk on earth, and the other end you're the opposite. You're not thinking about well, you're risking your own life for other people's good. How is that selfish?
Although a commitment to the military can put a strain on family life, often the most immediate effects of returning home are psychological. After returning from Afghanistan, Daniel Lulla knew something had changed.
How I felt when I came home, I knew that was something wrong. You'd never relax, you never sleep well, you're never cozy with a new situation. You are overanalyze every situation you're in, every room you're in. You're trying to find at least 2 exits, so you can go at least 2 ways. You don't trust people you don't know. You don't like people carrying a big jacket because you have to know what's inside that jacket. You don't like unexpected situation because you can't analyze it and predict the worst case scenario.
So it causes a lot of problems, this transition from battle mind to home mind. For most of the combat soldiers, this is a transition that undergoes by itself through a few months.
People were dying, civilized people were dying, and brothers and sisters were dying, and a lot of awful things happened. So we kind of we used humor as a way of protecting ourselves. I think that we never laughed if people were died, and we never cried either. You know, you were just trying to get from one day to the other, and if you could laugh a bit, that would be nice.
But you know, it's more like a male coping mechanism to have this humor, very black humor or rough humor. But it serves a good purpose because there's a lot of stress relief going on in your body when you're having a good laugh. So we encourage that.
There's no way you're gonna go into what's used to be normal. You have to set a new normal. You have to get as close as you can and then just realize that that's not going to happen.
I think he's right. You'll have to find a new way of living your life. Maybe not that different from what used to be your life, but I think you'll feel a bit different after these experiences.
Having dealt with these experiences, Thor now works at his brother's bakery in Slegelsa.
Big challenge for a soldier, an Afghan veteran working in a bakery shop. It sounds funny, huh? A soldier working in a bakery shop. Just the thing, just being a man working in a bakery shop. My brother and I, we have the same drive and same dreams about creating something, and not just some small business. We'll see how far we could go with it to be financially independent and living the life that we want to. But one of the challenging things is that working in the shop is you're normally alone. Going from the army where you're used to working with people all the time, having people around you, and then just being there yourself, it's challenging. It is. It really is.
Yeah, I think that my current situation is what I want to do, because I kind of try to understand where I wanted to go. And now I got this education that I'm 2 years in, and I think that the options I have from this really big, is how I want to narrow them down and how I want to specialize myself.
It hasn't been a subject we have talked that much about, him being in the military, but he's mentioned it once or twice. I have had no military background, so to discuss these serious matters, I wouldn't have anything I could relate to. So I'll maybe find it a little awkward.
While Daniel's change in career path means he now spends his days in the library as a student, Jacob has made the decision to remain in the military as an officer and teaches at the Royal Danish Academy in Copenhagen.
What I really like is the difference, because when you are teaching, you have so much flexibility, because you have your classes, you have your students, and you can plan your time. I mean, I have very, very few boundaries and strict meetings, set schedules, which makes it very, very easy for me to be flexible and plan according to my family. It's a whole package. It is just fantastic from a professional point of view.
Although Jacob, Thor and Daniel now lead very different lives, these men share a common experience that will stay with them and continues to shape who they are today.
I don't think you'll ever forget it. It's there, but there's a difference if it haunts you or if it's a memory that you can take from the shelf and open the memory and talk about it and remember it, instead of it haunting you. Yeah.
And I'm really satisfied that I was forced to leave the army due to the economic crisis, because I just love my life now compared to within, I can take my own decision, I can have influence of things I actually want to engage to, and I think that my opinion are being heard to the people that appreciate it.
If I think about my life in the army or episodes and what we learned every day, I think about it every day. No regrets, not at all. So just find another adventure to go on to, right? As long as we have a good thing going here, I'm not going back.
A reason for me being a soldier and officer is that I believe that it changes me in a better way. That you have to face really grave and important decisions. For me, the right decision is to be a soldier and an officer, because that's what I am. And it's that simple. I have to be what I am.